Sometimes it's just a simple question though. Miriam, thank you for your offer. Would that be your starting offer, or have you got some room in the tank because you do have some competition?
Oh, I love that. I'm like...
Every agent can tell you what you want to hear. You're going to get $1 million for something that's worth $800,000. Really? How are you going to do that? Have you got a magic wand?
And do you have an auction tip for people wanting to buy a house that's going to auction? What should they be doing?
On auction day?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bid.
Oh.
I'll get someone.
Till later.
Oh.
See everyone wants to post when they're having, the gold cutlery and all that sort of stuff, showing that, hey, this is my lifestyle. You go there once a year and I do this every week, which they don't.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. We're at Hungry Jack's, and so many people liked it, loved it, laughed, commented, sent me texts and phone calls and stuff like that. I liked it, but it's real.
You see all the time friends have tried to do real estate and then all of a sudden a year later they're not doing it anymore. Why do you think so many people can't forge a successful career in it?
In 2015, I won Eastern Suburbs Salesperson of the Year.
Okay.
And I remembered some whispers from some other agents or people that said,
Alexi's starting up an office.
No, they said...
How do you tell them they need to renovate the kitchen when they just renovated it?
Let them get spooked.
Yeah.
Then come in at 7:25 if it's about to hit down the hammer. Every now and then when there's dead silence and we're really focused, they'll do the scream.
I'm very good as an accountant now to spot who are the fakers and who are actually legit.
Yeah, definitely not faking it.
No, you are not.
And if you ask...
That's why you're on this podcast.
Thank you. And I appreciate it.
Welcome to the Sisters That Slay podcast, featuring Mim, Fez and Beef, also known as Miriam, Talitha and Ferial. We are three sisters building our mini sister empire and bringing you on the journey. We're passionate about learning and growing from those that have been there, done that, ticked the box, won the prize and have the scar. Real people, real stories. We uncover their secrets to how they are living their best lives and push through their lows. Dream the impossible and make it your reality. One life. The critics, you got a sisterhood that want to see you slay. Hello and welcome to the Sisters That Slay, live at the pod booth, and what a session we have coming up. I'm going to introduce to you Alexi Broikos. Say hello.
Hello.
Did I get your surname right there, Broikos? Is that right?
Yeah, you got it.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
And also the one and only, my sister.
Hey, it's your girl Ferial. Boom, we timed that perfectly.
We're here. And we do have another sister, Talitha, but she is getting wheeled around in the hospital today. She broke her foot in a footy incident. There we
football.
go.
AFL football, yes.
And has been out for a few weeks now, so hopefully she'll return one day.
Maybe.
Yes, her session is the most listened to session so far, so hopefully she'll be back.
Yeah.
But it's all about Alexi today.
Yeah.
So Alexi, who are you? Give us your elevator pitch.
Gosh, real estate agent, been selling for about 9 years now. Won a state award in 2012, 2015 and been top 3 in the state for the last 4 years in a row.
Yes.
And in the last 12 months, we opened our second real estate office in McGill Road, Beulah Park, and we've been there for 365 days approximately.
Oh, wow.
And we've got our 1 year birthday drinks next Friday. So for those who aren't going to Greece and can make it.
I was like, where is my invite?
We look forward to seeing you soon. But invites have not gone out yet. They'll probably go out in the next 2 days.
Yeah, you got to get it out like the week beforehand.
Yeah, Friday before for Friday drinks. Otherwise, normally our parties, people come at 7 or 5 and don't leave till like 12, 1, 2.
That was
right.
us one time.
Yeah,
but you did
there.
have the premiere at your opening. I was doing some Facebook stalking and I saw that coming up. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good night.
I will clarify. Alexi is, so I said this before, but I'll just say it again. Whenever I talk about Alexi to people, because a lot of people know Alexi, I'm like, Alexi is the best.
Yes.
I just love him.
Yes.
And it's not in like that type of way. It's just in a total amount of respect for how you carry yourself. You're a genuine person and you're killing it in real estate. So we'll start off with how we first met, and it's a pretty cool story. And I think it's also key as to how you grow your network. So I put on an event with Andrew Morello, actually. I can't remember what it was about, but it would have been about somehow selling the dream, living the dream, something like that. And in rocks Alexi, about 10 minutes late or something. He wanted to make an entrance. Not sure.
Always push for time.
Alexi, and then the beautiful Ali as well. So do you remember that first time, like that first event that we had? Or
I do. You had a little packed place there on South Road.
Yes.
Quite a few people, which was good.
Yeah.
Andrew Morello was there, which, flamboyant guy, great energy.
Yes.
And I instantly thought, I loved your energy, by the way, also. And I thought, you know what? I like these guys.
Yeah.
Next time they have something on, I'm definitely coming back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think the key thing as well is if you do meet people at events, like connect with them on social media and just keep in touch. There's no point now just getting a business card. It's find them on LinkedIn, find them on Facebook and just connect.
Yes. And try to get with them more often than not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Now we're going to do some lighthearted getting to know you questions. So what is your biggest, dirtiest business secret hack?
God, biggest, dirtiest secret.
That was the
hack.
Do you want me to remind you?
The song.
The music?
Yes.
Okay, so sometimes real estate can be very challenging. It's very enjoyable, but obviously there's plenty of times where you're just feeling a little bit spent and, you've had back-to-backs and your brain's sort of frying and then you think, I need a recharge.
Yes.
So often we'll be sitting in the office that we got there on McGill Road and we've got a Sonos system and it sort of goes to your phone and all that sort of stuff. And actually, I've got two now. I've got a second one.
Okay, go for it.
Ooh,
we love.
Every now and then when we're feeling a little bit like we want to have a bit of a pep.
Yes.
We play the Facebook song.
Okay. Play the Facebook song for us,
I'll
lead
into the Facebook song.
Please
so
do.
I got a young boy working with me in his 20s and I got another boy in his 30s, obviously. And the boy in his 20s did love to be distracted. He's got a girlfriend now, so it's not so distracted. But there was an attractive girl on Facebook and she was dancing and looked amazing.
Right.
But I was more excited about the song. I thought I love that song. So I said to the boys, go find that song.
Yes.
So about an hour later, they found the song.
Yes.
It was not easy.
Productivity through the roof, an hour looking for a song.
You may hate this song, but every now and then we crank that song so loud and I think people 3 doors down can hear it.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's play
Here's
it.
the song.
Put it into the speaker.
Put it up.
Oh, yeah. I can get into this.
Are you underwhelmed or overwhelmed there?
How do you dance?
Let's great dancing.
We type the computer a little bit harder.
Okay, cool.
Tap our feet a little bit.
So it's like tap, tap, tap.
But
Can you just play that softly in the background just while we keep
It's
chatting?
actually really cool. I love it.
And your second, maybe turn it off, but your second,
Distracting me.
was there another dirty business secret hack? Oh, that was it.
Of late,
Yes.
unfortunately, now the boys are trying to
You're
get some
blaming the
humour.
boys,
Well,
okay.
We're sitting in the office and they've got this really loud screaming voice.
Yes,
So
okay.
through that system again, every now and then when there's dead silence and we're really focused, they'll do the scream.
Okay,
Oh.
cool.
And the scream is like, where's that coming from? And for a moment you think someone's behind you about to stab you.
So
We've got some footage and stuff like that and we record them and people crap their pants.
So you're
It's
a bit
not
of a
nice.
prankster office.
So when a client's coming in, you're doing a deal, and all of a sudden, scream.
That's the most lighthearted stuff that we probably do.
Yeah, cool.
okay.
I love it.
I love
We need to
it.
get a sound
Yeah.
system going in our office.
You sound fun. Yeah.
And favourite childhood celebrity crush?
That was Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
Oh,
On
beautiful.
I can't remember the show.
What is that? The witch one?
Oh God, no. Before that.
Before that.
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
lovely girl, and attractive, nice, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And your number one travel tip?
Travel tip. Yeah,
Yeah.
work really hard before you go. Get heaps of stuff done so that while you're away, you don't have to do too much. Make sure someone's managing it here for you.
Yeah.
And have a really good time while you're away.
Yeah.
And rest, relax, come back, energized. I remember going to Europe for about 6 weeks.
Wow.
it felt like I had 6 months off
Wow.
because you're so used to not having any break. And within, obviously, after 6 weeks, it really did feel like I had.
Did you
half
do
a
this
year
during
off.
your real estate career or was it prior?
No, I did. Early
Wow.
days, about 3 years in.
Yeah, okay.
I
Could
just,
you take 6 weeks off now, do you think?
I'd struggle. I take 6 days off.
Yeah.
But it depends on the time of year. So, like,
Yeah.
if it's end of December, early January,
No one's buying?
they're buying, but it's light enough that there's not huge amounts
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, right.
But we still sell probably 3 or 4 over that break.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
And favourite quote?
Oh, actually, I mentioned this to someone recently. I spoke with a lot of successful people and had a boy on work experience.
Yes.
And we were challenging each other with quotes and all that sort of stuff. And I actually had a chat with a childcare owner, a very successful one. You should have him on your show.
Oh,
Yes.
And he said
absolutely.
if it were up to him, he'd love not to have childcare because he'd love for the children to be brought up with a family and all that sort of stuff. But that's not always possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favourite quote was Jackie Onassis said, no matter what successes you have in life, she said, if you bungle raising your kids, you have failed.
Oh,
And I really like that.
I love
Bungle
that.
raising kids?
Bungle, as in stuff up raising a kid.
Correct.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
important. Actually, should we just quickly introduce? We've got Chelsea. Do you want to come
Speaking
in?
of
Just
children.
quickly say hello.
Put your face on the
This
camera,
is what
Chelsea.
we're doing here. Bringing
Yeah.
the kids in. Say hello.
This is Chelsea, Miriam's daughter.
And we've
Gorgeous.
also got Nikki. Do you want to quickly say hello?
Hello, Nikki. Hey, hey.
There we go. Seeing how it works behind the scenes.
She's your older child. Yeah?
Yes. Just another sister. We just got sisters
So
everywhere.
many sisters that slay. Alrighty.
And daily rituals, habits for peak productivity and performance. What does your day look like? What are you doing that just keeps you going?
Always start the day with a good shower.
Yes.
And
Cold shower or hot?
not a warm shower.
Okay.
But I do
alright.
sit in the shower. I sit, meditate, shut my eyes.
Like
Yeah.
you sit
It's all-
down on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
okay.
almost like an extended
You had a
sleep. a little
shower
bit.
chairs at all?
There are, but no, I don't do it. But I sit, relax, it's sort of meditation, get
Yeah.
into it. Then I'm forward thinking of my day and what's coming up and how I'm going to tackle it, which I've already done probably the night before regardless.
Yeah.
But normally I make my first appointment 9 a.m.-ish
yeah.
and then just lead into the day probably till, later in the day where I'm negotiating or setting up appointments or meeting buyers or doing a show through. And then end of day is probably the last appointment, maybe 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, whenever it leads into. But last night finished up 10 o'clock, got home, didn't have anything to eat. Luckily, Noah, my colleague, bought me a Subway at about 7
Good on
p.m.
you, Noah. Well
That was
done.
good. Yeah, I was happy with that. That was my dinner last night.
Oh,
Boys
wow.
are looking after you.
Yeah, that is good.
It's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep. What is keeping you up at night?
Normally, work. But thinking about, negotiations, how I left off the buyer on the night before or how I left the 5 buyers during the day yesterday and who I needed to get back to and which house still needed to be shown and what time I was going to open it. And
Wow.
So
Yeah,
do
plenty
you
of
like
things.
scribble down notes or what do you do if there's something like I do it sometimes like 2 a.m. like, oh, whoa, I need to do that. And I just like will send off myself an email. How do you keep track of?
I say it a few times, knock my head on my pillow, which my mum taught me.
Okay.
And then hopefully by the time I wake up in the morning, I still remember it. But often I email myself stuff.
Yeah.
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 And once I email myself stuff, I've got the notes on there and then I've always got it saved. So I never miss anything.
Always
Well
wired,
done.
switched on.
Yeah.
How do you chill out? Do you
Yeah.
ever chill
What
out?
about work-life balance? Do you get that at all?
Yeah, work and family is pretty much a balance.
Yeah.
I try to eat well so I don't need to train too much. I try to do everything at a brisk pace so I'm still sort of burning energy.
Yeah.
But it's really just family and
Yeah.
work and maybe some events and stuff like that, but not at the pub 3 nights a week or something like that, like
Yeah.
back in the
In
old
the day.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Back in the
I was
Soccer
never at the
days.
pub, but
Okay.
I was,
at
you
the
do
nightclub.
things. Yeah, nightclub.
What were you
different.
doing?
And now, what was your first job?
Pizza Hut.
Ooh, Pizza Hut.
Tell us.
14 years old.
Ooh,
Now, were you
ooh.
Hungry Jack's?
Yes.
Okay, so Hungry Jack's, my first interview was at Hungry Jack's. My mum took me in there. She goes, you have to get a job. And I thought, okay, do I? Wow, I feel like I'm 10 years old, but I was 14.
I love your mum. You have to get a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
But I wanted to save for my first house. So
Oh,
I
wow.
knew that,
At 14, you're saving for your first house?
at 12, I realised that
Yeah.
I wanted to buy a house.
Wow.
I love property. I could feel it already. And then 14, I thought I could work legally.
Yes.
So Hungry Jack's went there, and they took my details and stuff like that. Said, look, we'll call you. We don't have anything at the moment.
They didn't know talent when they saw it.
They didn't at that stage. But they did call me later to say I had a job, but I'd already been employed at Pizza Hut.
Oh,
okay.
And I love Pizza Hut. I felt like it taught me a lot. And
Yeah,
it was
okay.
a Pizza Hut restaurant, not a delivery one. So you'd serve people, you'd do drinks and, you know, take the meals and all that sort of stuff. It was a dining. So I loved it. I thought it was really cool.
And what did you learn from your Pizza Hut days? Like, what is this Pizza Hut?
You learn, as you would know working at Hungry Jack's, learn to do things efficiently, quickly.
Yeah.
You couldn't do things over and over again. You had to like get it done once and it's done, and then move on to the next task or repeat that task 100 times throughout the night. So it taught you to be really sharp.
Yeah. And you often mention your Pizza Hut days still to your staff and go, let's do Pizza Hut style.
Exactly that.
And just pump out some work.
So years ago, the boys are like, well, what's Pizza Hut style? And I said, Pizza Hut style is like, we got to work really quick because we've got about half an hour to do 3 hours worth of work. And that means do things 10 times faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Because back in the Pizza Hut days, you spent $5 and you could get unlimited pizza, pasta, and there's lineups everywhere.
Salad,
and
dessert.
You guys had to work hard.
We did. We had lineups literally 50 metres long.
Where was this? What
Anzac
Pizza Hut?
Highway.
Anzac Highway.
Yeah.
So Anzac
Back in
Highway,
the good old days, a dessert bar, ice cream. Oh,
the works.
yes.
So how much were the lineups? Like, did you have a few people there or?
50 metres long, like literally from literally waiting to be seated, and we sat about 100 people in the place.
What?
at least it was a big dining restaurant.
Yeah.
And the lineup would go literally down the corridor, out the door, and around the corner. And it was insane. And you're like, my God.
I love how like a bunch of 14-year-olds are just running and doing it. So good.
So, yeah, I mean, that's amazing. But shout out to all the fast food workers that started their journey.
Yeah.
Put a comment down about where you started working as your first one.
Shout out to anyone from Pizza Hut. Let us know if you were there. Maybe did you work with Alexi?
Yeah.
We'd love to know what he was like back then.
So obviously you've moved on from the Pizza Hut days. How did you fall into a real estate career?
I bought my first, 12. My dad was a builder. My mum was very much, you could do anything. So we used to do open inspections. We'd look at places. We were building a house.
At 12 years old?
Yeah, she'd take me. And I
Wow.
reluctantly went at that stage, but I caught the bug.
Yeah.
After a short period of time, I love the architecture. I love the stonework. I love all the high ceilings, pressed metal, all that sort of stuff with a lot of the character homes.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I really want to start preparing to buy a house in the future.
Yeah.
So I did. 14, I started saving. 15, I bought a arcade machine, put it in the shop. So I had that little bit of entrepreneurial, wanted to do something. Started
Side
earning.
hustle, arcade machine, collecting your dollars.
I've got 2 pinballs at home and a stand-up, like some old games.
Okay.
What?
So I did a little bit of that, but then started saving money at 14. 17, I got a corporate job at Telstra, was there for about 15 and a half years. But at 21, I bought my first house. 23, I bought second. 25, I bought my third, and I bought probably 20 or 30 more since.
Wow.
Don't hold them all. I sell them and or hold them for a little bit or turn them over or whatever. And
Did you
climb
renovate
up.
some of them as well? Or?
Plenty.
Okay, cool.
But I got that bug as well. And I really enjoyed the process of, selling it in the end.
Yes.
Of which I sold my first 2 through agents, and then I started selling my own privately.
There you go.
So then I got the bug with selling.
Because you realised you could do it better than the other ones, or you just wanted to give it a go, or?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like sometimes you can't do things better than you can do on your own. But I realised that, hey, I think I had something to offer there. So I thought I'm going to put my little stamp on it.
Yeah.
But one of the big ones was when I thought, you know what, I'll get other agents to do it. Because I had the first 2 done through someone else, and I had the next 5 done through myself. Great results.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll get the next agent to do it again. I'm too busy. I've got not much time. They came in and said, Alexi, I think your property's worth about 300. I bought it for about 270. That property now is worth probably $1 million.
Wow.
But we're talking back then numbers.
Yeah.
So 270, I did a little reno on it, $7,000. I didn't spend much. And then the agent came through and said, look, you're looking at around 300. And I said, 300? I said, that's pretty much what I bought it for. I said, it didn't look like this before. Real big difference with a small amount of money. Anyway, long story short, he said, you probably get what you paid for it, just a little bit more. So 300 was a number. Within 4 weeks, I put it on the paper.
Yeah.
I sold it for 400.
Oh,
So I felt
gun.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Did you
lose.
celebrate that night?
I did, but I was more disappointed that had I trusted that 300 was it,
Yeah.
I would have lost $100,000.
Yeah.
Mm.
So then I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to do this full time.
Yeah.
I did the real estate course in 2008 and then joined real estate in 2010.
Yeah.
So 10 was first full year.
Okay, great. And a lot of people start out in real estate, like you see all the time, friends have tried to do real estate and then all of a sudden a year later they're not doing it anymore. Why do you think so many people can't forge a successful career in it?
It's mega tough.
Yeah.
Like it's a difficult job in the sense that you're 7 days a week and early starts, late finishing, 80 phone calls a day, business planning, marketing, always thinking of how to improve something. Like it's dead set non-stop. But the main one is to get something to sell, you need someone that's going to trust you enough to give you something to sell.
Yeah.
And when someone's got a $500,000 property or a $200,000 unit or a $2 million house,
Yep.
it's pretty important. So they're really going to trust whether you are the best choice for that to happen. So as much as someone says, hey, I'm really good at selling jeans or shoes or, I worked at McDonald's or Pizza Hut or whatever it might be.
I worked at Pizza Hut, so you should choose me.
And I'm gorgeous. I got a beautiful smile or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But the person has to then elevate to a level where that owner trusts you enough to say,
Their
I want you to
prized
sell my
possession.
million. Yeah, correct. Because you can literally be the difference of 50,000, 100,000 or not
Absolutely.
selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get people to build trust in you?
Always going above and beyond,
Yeah.
or always trying to go above and beyond. So if there's minimums, I want to exceed them.
Yeah.
I want maximums.
And I think we can just even see that, like when we went to your office for drinks, you were like making sure everyone was catered
Yeah.
for and looked after. You're the one getting everyone's drinks and things like that. And you'd expect, the staff do those types of things, but you were there like just making sure.
Hustling. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was being hospitable and just
that's
really
right.
caring and making sure we all were hydrated.
I genuinely like serving people.
Yeah.
And helping people. So, and I like people and I love property. So when you mix it all together, it sort of works.
Perfect.
But some people think that they're above serving someone. But
Yeah.
I love that. If someone feels good and you had a great night and you walk away going, that was amazing, then that makes me feel fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. And because you're such a nice guy, that's what we were saying beforehand. We're like, Alexi's just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I think that definitely comes down
But
to
I think that's probably hard to find sometimes in the real estate industry.
very hard.
Mother,
Yeah.
not going to say too much.
But be yourself.
Yes.
And I do some real estate speaking, for example, with classes and stuff like that. And I often tell people if you're a great person and you love helping people and you love property, then fantastic. But if you're trying to mask any of those, you're not really a great person, you don't really like people, or you've got not a deep interest in property, then it's probably not for you. And I tell them from the start, maybe do something else.
Yeah.
Because you'll lose energy or you'll lose patience
Right.
and you'll get found out.
Yeah. That's good.
And what was the reason for starting? You've got now your own office. What was the reason for starting that one up?
Yeah, we live in the east, and our eastern office is McGill Road, Beulah Park. So
Yes.
close to Norwood, close to the city, such easy travel everywhere. But a lot of my clients and demographic is in that eastern belt. And in 2015, I won Eastern Suburb Salesperson of the Year.
Okay.
And I remembered some whispers from some other agents or people that said,
Alexi's starting up an office.
no, they said, how does he win Eastern Suburb Salesperson of the Year when their office is on Anzac Highway?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, it's always a goal of mine anyway. I'm going to open it up. So we opened it up on the eastern side, but it's close to home. It's close to my networks, close to all my clients. I love it.
What's your 5-year goal then? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Oh, big question.
I know. He hasn't prepped this one.
To be honest, lots of successful colleagues
Yeah.
and a beautiful big team that is all succeeding and climbing the mountain together.
Yeah.
So not so much a personal goal, but more of a team goal.
Yeah.
I want those around me to go up as well.
I love that about you, Alexi, because you're always talking about your team and how
Yeah.
great your team is. You're such a team player. Very cool.
And we get onto social media down the track, but like all your photos on social media, you've got like your team with you as well, and it's really awesome to see how they're
I love
developing.
my team.
Yeah.
I really do.
So how do you develop and grow your team? What are your secrets there?
We spend so much time together, so it's not too difficult to sort of bounce everything off each other and grow together. So you don't have to put too much extra energy into it because we're always doing it naturally.
Yeah.
But my team is brilliant. Like the females, the males, all the crew, they're ready to give extra for everything. They're 7 o'clock appointment in the morning or 11 p.m. finish at night. They're there and they back it up the next day, day after day.
I think you've just and one thing, this probably hasn't happened to you, but I've had like just superstar team members that have gone and wanted to spread their wings, do something else. And I think just an important tip is like still keep in contact with them, still love them, because you never know what might happen.
Yep.
And they might, you know, come back to you.
Yeah.
So have you had that experience yet, or are your team pretty loyal still?
I had Ali Ochen from The Bachelor working with me, and she's lovely, and she's gone on to bigger and better things, and very happy for her. I had Jess Warland, like a lovely young girl that was 17 when I hired her.
Yes.
So I'm all about giving youngsters a chance also.
17.
And she gave me 2 beautiful years and plenty of great stuff, and she's gone into other things, and I still love all the people that are with me and not with me.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And what's been your most biggest epic fail, and what did you learn?
Oh, God, okay. Corporate fail, not like I try not to focus on any fails.
So you just like you block it out, like
it was a fail. It was a learning. You know what I mean? And it was probably a learning that got me to something better. So really not huge fails.
So you're not dwelling on your fails.
Never. But
like Pizza Hut days, just get over it.
Correct.
If the pizza
move on. Customer's always right.
Okay.
But soccer was one where I felt like there was a window there where I had more of a chance to make it than what I did. And I do remember one particular night where I started rolling up to training late, and I was with the first team at Adelaide City and getting a training gig there, and I know they were having a look, but I'd sort of got to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore, because I did want to do it, but I had 3 years in a row with summer, winter, so I hadn't had a break. And I remember one particular night there, I'm training in goals, and the team started looking to their left or right, and they noticed 2 young girls turning up to training. These 2 young girls sat right on the sideline, like literally almost on the pitch. They had crop tops on and short shorts, and I looked over and I thought, oh no, I knew them.
Yeah.
And they were waiting for me to finish training. So, I had distractions, and I think the coach could see that.
Yeah.
And, it didn't go as well as what it should have or could have. So I think that was a big fail in my life, but it taught me to be focused.
Right.
And that if you want something, you've got to put everything into it. You can't do half of it.
Yeah.
Half of it won't get you there. All of it's what's required.
I know we all played tennis, and that's probably one of my, I'm not really that talented, but, it's always like, why couldn't I make it as a tennis pro? But, tennis probably not cut out for it. Well, the thing that I like about tennis over soccer is, like, tennis is, if you don't win, it is all you, and it's all your mental training. In soccer, if you don't win,
you got a team.
It's the whole team. So there's positives and negatives to that.
Well, I was a goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you just blame the goalkeeper.
The goalie, the most important person.
So we could blame you.
If you were distracted, you let the whole team down.
Correct. If I wasn't on, anyone on the pitch can make a mistake and they've got someone to back them up.
Yeah.
If I make a mistake, it's a goal. So I had to learn pretty quickly that, hey, that ball goes in the net.
Yeah.
Don't dwell on it. Focus and push forward. Otherwise, I'm going to let in 5 more.
Yeah.
So,
I think goalkeeper's probably like one of the toughest ones.
Tough.
And also when you're doing the penalties and you miss a penalty, then,
But you never expected to save the penalty, really. So actually, I like penalties.
Yeah.
And in more than one game, I saved 2 penalties in one game.
Wow. You're the penalty king. Well done. That's good. Watch those girls, though.
And, note to self, if you want to distract Alexi or
and yours.
No distractions now.
No.
Family and work. That's it.
Correct.
And what is your wow factor?
Wow factor?
Yeah.
Wow.
X Factor?
Yeah, I changed it from X Factor to Wow Factor because I was like, that's so not modern.
So like 10 years ago.
I guess experience, maybe lame answer maybe, but experience, you need, if you got the experience and you're good at what you do and you got the skill and the talent, plus you're prepared to work harder than the next guy, I think that's the wow factor all in one, because I often get asked, what's the one magic ingredient? The reality is there isn't one magic ingredient. It's about 100.
Yeah.
And if you do 99 of them, you're probably okay. If you think you can get away with doing 70 of them, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to make it to the top of the mountain. You're going to make it maybe a third of the way up.
Yeah. And in real estate, how do you manage people's expectations when I can think of some of my family, they think they have $1 million house.
Yes.
They have $1 million views.
Yes.
And they're waiting to retire on this nest egg.
Buy of the century.
And, we might want to buy their property, but they think it's worth a lot more than what it is.
Yeah.
So how do you manage just people's expectations?
Over-expectation.
Yeah, people's expectations with property.
Well, one thing I said about 3 years in, I said I'm still to this day haven't met an owner that maybe didn't want more than their home was worth.
Okay, so it's everyone.
It's everyone. It's not just your mum and dad or your uncle and auntie, but whether they're European, Greek, Italian, Australian, Hungarian, whatever nationality, Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're always hopeful of, could my property be worth more than what I think it might be? And the reality is, maybe it could be if you're thinking that it's realistic.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking that it's totally too high and optimistic, then you sort of almost got to say to them or demonstrate to them and show them some data that your house is lovely. And I think a lot of people are going to buy it, but at the wrong price, no one's going to buy it. And I always say it, at that number, we're going to have all of Adelaide wanting it.
Yeah.
At that number, we're going to have no one wanting it. Because they say, how easy is my house going to be to sell? Great question. At $50,000, I'll sell it to anyone.
Sell it to me.
But
Give it to me.
At $5 million for something that's not worth $5 million.
Do you want cash or credit card check?
You'll be for sale forever, no matter what you do.
Isn't there going to be some Chinese investor that wants to buy it?
Yeah, everyone's dream. Yeah.
Okay, great. And do you have like a big success story, or is there a proud moment where you've helped a client and be like, yeah, I got them that result?
All the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like most of the times that we're selling something, because we put in so much energy before we even list the property.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Alexi, what do I do here? Do I paint it? Do I do some flooring? Do I do some garden, or do I put it on just as it is? So there's normally a lead in where you're helping them intensely to say, do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
How about this? Providing them with trades and people and contacts, and then also the marketing and all. So you've got a lot invested when you're in it. So every time the deal gets done, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But I remember back, a lady that had a property that she was hoping for a certain figure. She had no money to fix the house.
Yes.
So I invested with her to try and fix the house. Actually, the 91-year-old lady.
Oh, wow.
True story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Parkside. She needed $400,000 to move into her nursing home.
Yeah.
And her property is worth, in the presentation that I saw, about $350,000. It was only a little townhouse.
Yep.
I invested $11,000 of my money to help her renovate it,
Wow.
with an agreement that she'd give me the money back at time of sale. Otherwise, she couldn't get that 400 bracket to move out.
Yeah.
So anyway, got that done, got referred to her via a lawyer. The lawyer trusted me. The lawyer put me in front of her. And then I said, the only way I'm going to get that is if we do some work. So we did the work, $11,000 worth, and we sold it for $417,000.
Wow.
So paid for my expenses, plus she got $400,000 net, or above $400,000 net.
Yeah.
And really, she needed a $400,000 sale price, and then the net, the commission taken out. So she was actually positive, way positive.
Wow.
I like that
amazing.
outside the box thinking, just to make sure you're getting results for your clients.
That was a memorable one.
Yeah. And so Epherial and myself have a keen interest in property. We're always looking at the market. We also bought our first houses when we were very young too. Because, I'm a property expert here. And one of the things I like to do is just watch how real estate agents interact with me.
Yeah.
And when we're putting in offers, like when I bought one of my most recent houses, like they didn't even try and haggle me up at all. So it was kind of like we put in an offer and then it was like, oh yeah, such and such got it. So we missed that house. So we put in an offer again and we're like, yeah, you got the house. And we're like, wow, if the vendor realised, because the whole game is, you put in a lower offer and then you can go a little higher.
Yeah.
But some real estate agents are like, yeah, let's get a sale. Let's make this happen. I don't really care. I get my commission. So what should people be looking for when they're choosing a real estate agent?
Great question. Normally, someone that you feel is going to fight the fight for them.
Yeah.
But in a way that hopefully the person you're putting in front of the buyer is likable enough that buyer's going to engage with them and trust them and work with them and be happy to obviously sign up and do a contract to buy the property. So I think you need someone that you feel is going to represent you in the way you need to be represented. That's the main thing. Yes, they need results potentially, but you need to make sure that they're the person that you want and that you can feel that they're the right person.
Yeah,
because every agent can tell you what you want to hear. You're going to get $1 million for something that's worth $800,000. Really? How are you going to do that? Have you got a magic wand? Anyone can tell you a high price. Yeah. Anyone could offer you a low fee. But reality is you need the right person helping you to get the right result.
Yeah, just because the fee's lower, but it might end up costing you $50,000 more because they didn't try like their hardest with the sale type of thing.
Correct.
So is that a warning sign when someone has low fees? What are some other warning signs?
When they don't answer their phone or call you back or return an inquiry, for example, they're big warning signs.
Yeah.
I always feel like if I was to choose a real estate agent, I would do undercover buying myself and go along to one of their other listings, walk around, because sometimes you go into an inspection and they're trying to kick you out. Like if it's like 1 minute past the deadline, they're like, sorry, like this is now closed. And I can understand, fair enough, they might have to go to the next one, but look like a serious buyer, so I'm getting like kicked out. I'm like, if the vendor knew what was going on here, they might.
But that's an indication of service levels, for example. And those 100 things that I said that you need to be doing really well, all of the 100 of them, one of them is allowing enough time between your opens.
Yes,
which can extend your day.
How much do you allow?
Plenty.
Depends where you're going.
Like an hour?
Well,
15 minutes?
I allow enough time for me to get to the open 15 minutes early and allow enough time for me to get to stay at the open 15 minutes after if required.
That's a good idea.
And then whatever gap you leave in between allows you to get to your next open. But sometimes it means you're starting at 10 and you're finishing your last open at 4, whereas someone goes, you know what, I'd rather start at 12 and finish at 2, but they've got to cram in so much more. So that's the difference. So yes, I'd rather start earlier, finish later, but allow myself plenty of time throughout the day. Get the lights on, get the heating on, put the candles on, roll out the red carpet, make sure you're there early enough, make sure you're comfortable and set as well. Rather than just turning up and being frazzled, opening the door whilst people are coming in behind you.
Plenty of open inspections, exactly like how you've just described.
That in my opinion, is poor. You should be there earlier. They should feel like they're walking to a home as though you're hosting a dinner party when everything's prepped and ready, lights are on, everything's ready to roll.
But do you know what I do love is I do love the bad real estate agents, because generally you can get a house at a good price. I know one time, we bought a house at like council rates
as
or
a
something.
Buyer.
And they once again, they did not haggle or just try and increase the price at all. I know I keep an eye out for those terrible ones, because they're the ones you usually get a property with.
Sometimes it's just a simple question though. Miriam, thank you for your offer. Would that be your starting offer, or have you got some room in the tank because you do have some competition?
Oh, I love that. I'm like...
And then the competition part puts a little bit of pressure on you to say, oh God, I am putting it in a bit low. I do have some room and I want to let him know that. Otherwise, I don't want him to sell it to someone else. So it forces you to say, yeah, I do. And really, it's not a trick or a secret or anything like that. It's just literally having a conversation with someone to say, Miriam, there is other interest. You're at 320 or 550 or whatever it might be. Have you got room in the tank? Because I don't want you to miss out for $5,000 or $10,000 and you told me you would have paid that.
Yes. Yeah, we share it on another one, but one of Ferrell's first properties, she got it by $500.
Yeah.
There you go.
I hanged up with a real estate agent because he tried to up my offer price by $500. I was like, I'm not falling for your tricks. I hanged up with him and I'm like, hang on, I got it back. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
You do it.
That's been a right performing one. Another real estate one. So my friend was interested in a river shack property, and then all of a sudden he didn't get interested in it. So then my mum started then bidding on it, because we were like, oh, we might be interested in it. Then all of a sudden, the only two people that were bidding on it was my friend and my mum. And the real estate agent was saying, oh, there's other people interested. And we could fully, we were just like, we know who the other people were. So we could see the whole thing playing out. And the real estate agent did not know that both the two bidders knew exactly what was going on. So what are the secret types of tricks that we need to watch out for with with real estate, or how do we
inside
how do we best manage the buying process?
Honestly, do your research. If you're selling, do your research. Know what's sold around you, so that no matter who gives you advice, you're sort of already prepped and tuned.
Yes.
And try to do it without the owner hat on. Try and do it as if, what would a buyer look at?
So it's not your baby that you've lived in and that you've decorated with the lovely...
And you've had so many memories.
The lovely...
purple tiles.
Pink room.
What's wrong with purple tiles?
With a bit of purple here.
Yeah, that would look great in your house.
How do you have that? So do your research.
Do your research, and as a buyer, do the same.
Yes.
So if you're looking for a particular type of property, know the market.
Yeah.
Do plenty of research before you're buying.
Get on RP data. What do we do?
Realestate.com.
Realestate.com. Look at all the opens. Find out into sold properties. See what it was advertised for, what it actually sold for, maybe how long it was on the market. Then you can see what the variances were.
Quick question. How often are you on realestate.com.au? Like every day? Hours?
Fairly often, but most often it's our own property. So you're sort of immersed in your own stuff. You're really doing your research at particular points in time.
Yeah.
But we're always on.
Do you have like alerts set up? Like that send you emails?
I don't. I know plenty of people do, but I don't.
No.
We still have alerts going forever for anything. Now, how do you tell an owner and have that difficult conversation that their kitchen renovation is not
they need to
appealing?
Do it. How do you tell them they need to renovate their kitchen when they just renovated it?
That not everyone loves black kitchens.
How do you tell them? You don't tell them.
Yeah, so true.
If you get in early enough, you can give some advice and get it tailored the right way. But if you're coming in late in the piece and, Miriam, I've just done everything, nothing more for you to do, I've got no money left, go for it. It's sort of almost pointless to a degree to criticise too much other than to say, hey, we could have done with a new kitchen or we could have done with a new bathroom, but I love the way you've presented it.
Oh,
you've done the best you can, and we've got to work with what we've got.
Yeah,
but
so true.
Can we influence anything else that doesn't cost too much money? Maybe declutter a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe put some throws or...
How do you get those...
How do you get decluttering?
How do you tell them, get all your crap out of the house?
Easy. What do you do?
Get the family photos down.
Have to. Well, family photos, for example, number one, they're a distraction. People come in and they're distracted by who's on the wall.
I totally look at them. I always like,
Wait, so do you take them down or do you get the owners to do it?
I encourage them to take it down.
Yeah.
But number one, distraction. Number two, I need them to picture themselves on the wall.
Yeah.
I need them to feel like they're walking to their home, not someone else's. So if they're a single couple and there's 6 kids on the wall, they're clearly walking to someone else's house.
Yes, that's a very good point.
2 reasons: distraction, and I need them to feel like they're walking to their own home. So, and then when an owner understands that, they go, Alexi, that's great. That makes sense. I'll get rid of them.
Just educating them. I love that.
And the boxes, I say, with a declutter, 3 boxes. 1 for goodwill, 1 for keeping, 1 for turfing. That's it. So you walk away with at least 50% of your stuff that you didn't have before gone.
And very good points there. We've always just bought property. We've never sold it yet, but I am thinking about, I've got an underperforming property. It was the buy of the century.
Said the real estate agent.
It has not increased in value.
10 years ago.
What should I do in deciding what do you think I need to think about whether I sell it or keep it?
Okay. If you've got something that isn't performing as well, if it's your home, it's a different story. You live in it, you love it.
I don't care about it at all.
Then if you don't see the next 10 years or 5 years of having some reasonable growth, which is what you're trying to buy as an investment, in my opinion, then maybe let it go and try to find something where you think it's going to be closer to the city or maybe within a particular area where there is some room for growth, or subdividable or renovation or something where you've got different tiers of what you can do with. Yeah, and get out and get in. And
so if we have made crap property purchases and then it's like, do you see that sometimes blocking people from trying again? Or how do I, I mean, obviously bought property since then, but I'm still a little bit bitter about it. Do I just cut off my losses? What do you tell people about property when they've had bad experiences? It's hard, and I get it. Sometimes you buy a property or someone does and they go, well, everyone else's property's gone up and the paper says that it should double every 10 years, for example. So they're hearing all of this, and then sometimes if they see they've only made a minimal amount, they go, I'll hold it for another 10 years and then I'll make some more. But they're just putting themselves in another holding pattern where in that 10-year period they might buy something else that does double. And it might be just that particular one didn't do so well. So
get out of that one.
Yeah.
Buy and sell in the same market, cut your losses or your smaller gain, and then get into something where you'll make some true money.
Well, we've found the properties that haven't performed have either been in rural or just been too far out of the city. What do you think what do we need to look out for to purchase a good performing property?
Yeah, best to be as close as you can to the city while still being able to afford it.
Yeah, so do I go for a house a little bit further out or a unit closer into the city? If I had the choice.
Oh, that's a tough question, Miriam.
So units,
a house in Marion or a house a little bit further out, or so that's my option now. I've got a house out in the sticks not performing, or do I just buy a unit closer to the city?
Well, you said house in Marion. I'll take the house in Marion.
Yeah. That's a
Over a
subdividable.
unit.
That's subdividable area.
Subdividable, growth, near shopping centres, near the ocean, somewhat close enough to the city. Like that would be a good one over and above a more beautiful unit, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
My last question about property, which a lot of the big American guru business people are telling business owners to be renting and not buying. And I don't know what they're supposed to be doing with their money. How do you feel about renting over buying strategies?
Well, now with the rates so low, 3.5%, if you're borrowing 3.5% on a $400,000 purchase, you're looking at about a $12,000, interest, for example. Your rent on a $400,000 property might be $400 a week.
Yes.
So it's costing you $16,000 a year.
Yeah.
So it actually makes more sense to buy something now. But beyond that, if you're buying something, then hopefully there's some room for growth.
Yeah.
Or there's depreciation, or there's tax savings. You know all about that.
Yes. There's sudden tax advantages to renting to buying. But yeah, I think you've made some good points there. I think probably the thing that stops people from being able to buy is just saving that deposit. But we've helped so many clients. You just got to have a few years of knuckling down, living in with your parents, living in with some friends, not going out, not boozing every weekend.
You can go out, just not spending money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not doing the online shopping, not going on the overseas holidays.
Delete your online shopping apps today.
It takes about 1 or 2 years, and almost all my clients that have done this have got themselves into the property market.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So what are your tips for a first home buyer?
Much like Miriam's, early days you got to save your money.
Yeah. How do you save your money in Alexi language?
Well, my saying used to be, and still is, it doesn't matter what you earn, matters what you do with what you earn.
True.
So you could earn $500,000 a year. If you blow it all, then you always have nothing. But you could be on $50,000 a year if you're a really good saver, or if living at home, for example, and you're trying to get into your first home, live at home. Get some support from your parents if you have it.
Yes.
And then save as much money as you can. And maybe be conscious about what you're spending your money on.
Yeah.
So I remember in one 12-month period, my earnings went up as a teenager. I went from $13,000 a year as a 17-year-old, and then turned 18 and went to 24. And I was like, wow.
Pizza Hut somewhere else?
No, that's at Telstra Day, corporate.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, jackpot. Anyway, in that year, I nearly spent all my money. And I thought, what did I spend it on? I got my tax return. I thought, where did that go? And when I realised that I couldn't really add it up as well as I thought, I counted for some of it, and there was a massive chunk I couldn't. I thought, wow, I've got to be more conscious of what I'm spending money on.
Yeah.
Now I can be a bit more relaxed because I've done the hard yards, and I can be very generous and do what I do. But back then, when I needed to get into the market, you've got to be conscious of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right.
And is there a book that you think everybody should read?
Oh, God.
Facebook.
Yeah, your program on Facebook. There you go. Just follow you guys. That's it. There's a recipe.
Well,
is there a book that you read and like, this has changed my life?
No.
No, I'm a movie guy.
What movie?
Okay, what movie has changed your life?
Shawshank
Like, I love inspirational movies, like Forrest Gump or something like that, or where he's got challenges.
Is that it?
Yes.
Correct.
That changed your life?
Because you wanted to run? Or?
No. Jerry Maguire.
Oh, yeah.
Show me the money.
Which was not right. Show me the money doesn't work. Show me how much you care and how you help me will work, but show me the money won't.
No.
But that movie alone gave you so much insight to how you should or shouldn't behave.
Yeah.
So when you say books, I get it all in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Love it. We've had quite a few people that love inspirational movies.
Movies, yeah.
And has there been a greatest fear that you've had to overcome, or along your career, what sort of fear have you had to sort of get over?
Originally, to be honest, was getting into real estate was a fear that if you were good at what you did, I knew that you'd have a lot of your time and energy taken away. Mm-hmm. So I knew that if I worked how I wanted to work and service levels were high and all that sort of stuff, I knew that my time would be taken away, and it has.
Yeah.
So that was a real fear for me, but it was also a passion for me to do it. So I'm happy that I'm doing it. And we sell 1 or 2 houses a week now, which I'm very happy with, but it just means we're getting more wins and more results for clients, which makes us fully satisfied.
Yeah.
And what is your secret to selling? Because every day on Facebook, you're selling another property.
I know. Sold.
How did you learn to do sales, and how did you learn sales?
Again, I think it comes back to service.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're a high service individual and you're doing the best you can for your client, whether it's buyer or seller, and preferably both, then you're going to get the job done. Yeah. But you got to do it in a way that's real. So Pizza Hut, I refer back again, but I worked at restaurants after that, and I worked at another, family pizza bar, for example. The service levels have to be high. You got to be there for your client.
Yeah.
If they feel that, if they know that, then success will come. But presentation, performance, preparation, all of that. There's so many things that need to be put in that cake mix.
Yeah, that's good.
And do you have a secret to closing? What is your secret to closing the deal? How do you get them over line? What's Alexi's little trick or word sentence?
Not trick. Skill.
Yes.
Really, it's more about helping again.
Yeah.
If a buyer really wants something, I let them know I'm here to help you get it.
Yeah.
But I need you to get to a level where obviously the owner's accepting where you're at. And if they understand it and appreciate it, that you're not just pushing them for the sake of pushing them, but you've got an owner and a buyer, and really both parties need to gel together.
Yeah.
Once they realise that, okay, he is helping me, or I do need to put that extra bit in because it is worth it. So you just got to educate a little bit, help them, and then get the transaction happening, and the buyer's happy and the owner's happy.
Love that. And you do it in such a genuine way.
Yeah.
There was nothing really too confronting about that.
There's no trick.
No, there isn't.
If a buyer wants it, we're here to help them get it.
Yeah.
If a seller wants to sell, we're here to help them sell. So where's the trick? The trick's not there. The trick's there if you're trying to do something that's a little bit shady or unethical, but for example, but I don't think you need that. I think you can be clear and open and transparent and get it all flowing.
What are some unethical things, or what are real estate agents not allowed to do, just so that we're aware? They're not allowed to list their prices lower than what they are. Is that right? Or
okay, there you go. Yes, yeah. If you've definitely you can only advertise a range within 10%. For example, like 500 to 550.
Yeah.
You can't do 500 to $1 million because someone goes, well, where is it, 500 or $1 million?
Yeah.
So it's the 10% range. That's one thing. If your owner says to you, I won't accept less than 700,000, you can't then tell people at the open inspection, put in an offer at 550.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think they might accept 600. They really want 7, but I think 6 might get it done. That's definitely not the behaviour you should do, because your owner's clearly said 700. So you've got to follow the owner's instructions, whether you believe in it or not. You can say, Miriam, the asking price is 700,000. We are presenting all offers, put something through. But you can't lead them to a lower number than what's on the agency agreement because you're not doing what your owner wants.
Yeah.
And another thing, I do a lot of work in eastern states, and auctions are just part of the game there. They're not as big here. You run auctions. Do you run auctions, or what happens with your sales?
We've run some successful auctions, but you've got to choose your property that you're going to auction. And in a tough market, your auction might be not your number one choice because you may have less a buyer pool, for example. And then the financing's tougher, so you need someone to bid with confidence. If they don't have the confidence, then you're going to have a dud auction.
Does there need to be a minimum deposit for auctions, or?
Normally you try to just have it be as much as it can. They used to spruik 10%, but no one comes with or very rare does someone come with 10%.
Yeah.
But if it's a solid amount,
It's very rare do they just pull out the 10% cash out
Correct.
of their pocket.
Oh, I wonder why.
but yeah, $20,000 on a $500,000 purchase might be okay.
Yeah.
$50,000 on a $1 million purchase would definitely be okay. So that more towards 5%.
Yes. Okay.
But you want to cater for everyone.
And do you have an auction tip for people wanting to buy a house that's going to auction? What should they be doing?
On auction day?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bid.
Oh.
I'll get someone.
Till later.
Oh.
See how it plays out in front of you.
Well,
okay.
So just hold.
watch.
Just hold.
So just like don't be the first person to bid.
I think I always hold to the end. Hopefully the bidding.
$1 million.
Hopefully the bidding starts, for
Yeah.
example. But if
Yeah.
it starts, let it play out.
Okay.
See where it plays out,
Yeah. Okay.
and maybe don't put fuel on fire. Just wait. And
Yeah.
once it starts
So true.
holding, let them get a bit of fear of, oh, it's stopping. Does that mean I'm overpaying? Let them have that fear.
Yeah.
Then if your budget is still 800 and the property's stalling at 720, let them get spooked.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
come in at 725 if it's about to hit down the hammer.
Ah.
So I feel like let the hard work happen, let them challenge each other, and then sort of come in the end and try and take it.
Oh, that is a
Just like they
excellent
do on the
tip.
block
Yeah.
in their auctions. I don't really watch it anymore. Is that what happens?
Not sure there.
None of us watch it.
The
Do you
block.
watch TV, Alexi?
I don't have much time
Yeah,
for TV, but
I
yeah,
know.
I did watch The Block years ago,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the first season.
Yeah.
but don't watch it anymore.
And social media. You are one of the most consistent professionally posting people besides myself on Facebook. Where did you learn where did you learn to do this, and do you have any strategies behind it?
I wasn't even on Facebook, and one of our admin team put me on Facebook years ago. She said, Alexi, you need to be on Facebook. I said, what is it? And I said, I don't really have time for that. I've got so many things to do. But I think once I realised that, hey, it's a free website, it's a free branding, it's a free, someone can research you without you even chatting with them or knowing. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And so we post my solds, I post new properties,
Yeah.
we post anything positive really.
Yeah.
I try not to oversaturate it,
Yeah.
but yeah, we when we're selling, we put it out there that we've done it.
Are you posting once a day, or what do you do on yours?
No, maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah. And I loved it. One of yours, you're really authentic. Like one time you're all in suits and you're posting you're having a Hungry Jack's business lunch
did.
meeting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's the type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Like your classy dining or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, burgers and brainstorming, I think it was. For real, yeah. Because we had a property around the corner, and this was in Modbury Way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were hungry, and we'd set aside some time that we had to do this business meeting. And rather than go, I love the Mayfair, for example, and like some nice restaurants, but I don't care where we eat. If the food's okay, I don't want junk food too often. But we were close to Hungry Jack's. I thought, let's just go there, spread out. No one's there. We've got time on our own.
Yeah.
And I said, let's do a post.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to post when they're having, the gold cutlery and all
fancy
that sort
one,
of stuff,
yeah,
showing
yeah.
that, hey, this is my lifestyle. You go there once a year, and I do this every week, which they don't.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. We're at Hungry Jack's, and so many people liked it, loved it, laughed, commented, sent me texts and phone calls and stuff like that. I thought I liked it, but it's real.
Do you have people pretending to live a life that they don't actually live or anything like that? Do you see that a lot in real estate?
On social media?
Yeah, or just like flashy everything, but behind the scenes, it's all a bit of BS. Do you see that a bit in your industry, or?
Yes. Yeah. Can I tell you how and why?
Yes.
So
Every real estate agent always rocks up with the most fanciest car.
yeah, so you only need a few things to look like you're making it in real estate, right? But the number one factor is that it's a 20-day course. So no matter what you were doing in life beforehand, you do the 20-day course, you get your accreditation, and then you're a real estate agent. Provided you can go on a line with someone, you pop your card in their letterbox, or you send them a flyer, or you meet someone and you say, yeah, I work for McDonald's, or I work for Hungry Jack's, or whoever it might be. And the person says, oh yeah, I know them. So then you've got an agent there that maybe doesn't know anything about real estate. I think it's important to know what they did beforehand. First and foremost, have they ever invested in it? Have they bought something before?
Yeah.
Are they entrenched in it? But they put on a suit. They buy a car or lease a car that looks like it's professional enough.
Yeah.
And all the boxes could be ticked. They take some photos in front of a beautiful house that maybe isn't theirs. And someone goes, wow, they're successful.
Yeah.
or they stand in front of a couple of sold stickers over a 6-month period. Wow, that person's doing okay. They may not be, but they can easily make it look like they are.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you uncover? How do we uncover who's legit? Have a look at their sales listings, like actually see, you can see how many sales real estate agents are doing.
Jump on realestate.com. You can see what properties they got listed, what properties they've sold. There is a bank of them. But again, I always say I don't mind how many someone sells. If they sell 200 or they sell 20, I don't care how many they sell, how well are they doing it?
Yes, that's very true.
Because you could sell 5 houses a year. If you're the best person for the job, then I say go for it.
Yeah.
But if you're selling 200 and you're sort of like a burger joint, just flipping out the burgers
style.
Not so great.
And I think you've raised a really good point about are they living and breathing what they're doing as well? Because a lot of financial advisors, I just heard this point one time, is choose a financial advisor that's actually got wealthy from implementing their financial advice, or rather than just because they're good at sales. And I think, and that's why I have wanted to also do this podcast and also just present real people doing real, like achieving real things rather than just people pretending to be things that they're potentially not. And I'm very good as an accountant now to spot who are the fakers and who are actually legit.
Yeah, definitely not faking it.
No, you are not.
And if you ask,
that's why you're on this podcast.
Thank you. And I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it a lot. But yeah, if you ask me what to do, I'll share what to do. And I can share it from personal experience plus also client experience.
Yes.
So that all entwined, there's nothing really much left.
And what is your tip or hashtag life hack to living an extraordinary life?
Oh, big one.
Appreciate everything you do. Be passionate about what you do. Enjoy what you do. Love what you do. And then if you're doing all of that and doing it to the best of your ability, I think you'll tick a lot of boxes. And another quote I had once years ago that made sense to me was, don't always be in a race to win, but always do your best. Because sometimes those winning aren't always doing their best.
Yeah.
So no matter where you finish, just always give it your best. Always try and improve. Always try and refine yourself.
Yes.
Oh,
Alexi's business, real estate agency, is refined real estate.
I like
and
that.
it doesn't mean
in there. Always try to refine yourself. That is going on as part of our title.
Good.
doesn't mean refined as in we're superior or
A little bit.
or
You guys are a little bit superior.
or nose in the air or anything like that. It means refining, always improving, always trying to better ourselves, always trying to better our product and our client experience.
Yeah.
I love that.
And also, if you're having a charity auction, you need to get Alexi there.
Absolutely.
He loves to bid. No, you love supporting, and part of your social media is you're supporting a whole lot of sporting clubs.
I do.
And also, you're obviously a fan and supporter of Puddle Jumpers, which was the charity auction that we had at our podcast launch. Why do you do these things? Why do you give back to the community?
Because it feels good to give. And my saying, well, feel free to use it if you like. A lot of people talk about give to get, and or give and you shall receive.
Yes.
Like all of that.
Yep.
Mine is give to give.
I love that.
So give it, not expecting anything in return, but be happy to give it.
Yeah.
And when you're giving it to someone that leads it more than you do, it feels amazing. And when they get rewarded from what you've given them, I love it. It's fills your heart.
Yeah, got the golden nuggets there. That was great.
This is a really tough one, but I'm all about like just my children and thinking about this for what I'm creating for the future. What legacy are you creating?
Big one, Vera.
Always trying to be a role model for those around me that need some guidance or some support or just someone to look at and say, you know what, I like the way he does it.
Yeah.
Or I like the way they do it. You know, it's real, it's authentic, and again, me, more often than not, my mind's pretty good and my head's great, but I'm always from the heart. So can I use this, the head and the heart, and combine? I think that's going to get you to where you need to get to. But those around you can feel it. Otherwise, if you're literally just delivering a message and they can hear it, but they don't feel it, they won't do it.
Yeah.
But if they can feel it and they go, you know what, what he says, he demonstrates. What he demonstrates, I'm learning from.
Yeah.
So those around me, my kids, my family, my legacy is my children. I want them to be, superstars. And
how many kids do you have?
Boy and girl, 2.
Oh, darling.
Yeah.
2. How old are they?
Already my son is 16.
Yeah.
Daughter 13.
Yeah.
I think we were actually at the real estate event where you won it in 2015, maybe, was it? I think we were there. And that was you took your son along to that. And that was a really pivotal moment in me just seeing a parent take a child to an event. And it was so cool. Like, he looked like he was having the best time ever. Did he love going along, tagging along with Dad to the event?
He did. I think Shane Crawford was the MC on that night.
Yeah.
And he got him to play the flute. The flute was broken though, so he was a bit disappointed because he could actually play the flute. And he went to play it, it didn't really work, and he gave it back, and it's like, okay.
One moment.
But I was trying to demonstrate that there's such a support network for anyone in life that makes it anywhere, and that support network should be acknowledged. And I wanted to get my son up there to say, hey, it's me, but it's also me and my family and my team, my supporters. There were 700 people in that room that night.
Yeah.
It was nice to have some acknowledgement where he felt special.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
That was great.
And also, I just wanted to, because I'm so curious now, because you hang around with quite some high-profile people and millionaires, and you were talking about having a student, or tell us about, you had the student talk to all these millionaires, or what happened with that?
So I get approached for work experience children from schools and stuff like that, and people that I know, and they say, hey, my son's, do you mind if I spend some time? And I had one particular boy, Massimo Falco, his name is. He plays.
Shout out to Massimo.
He plays soccer for Adelaide City. He's 16 and he's already in the first team squad.
Awesome.
So he's doing well, and I feel like I can give him a few learnings from my soccer days.
Yes,
but
not look at the girls on the side.
No, I told him, focus, don't be distracted. I've already had that chat with him. And I think he is focused. He's at early stages, so it's very easy to be focused early stages. A few years in, you might get somewhat more distracted. But
when the money comes along.
The girls come along.
No, just the challenges that come along, and the constant grind that comes along.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to make it in anything if it's easy, but it's not easy.
No.
And that's where it gets challenging. At the start, it's like, I can do this. The marathon's easy.
Yeah.
2Ks into your 40K marathon, maybe it's not as easy, or 10Ks in, or 15Ks in, whatever it might be. But I got him in front of it, and as many influential people as I could. I saw some beautiful houses. I met some of my clients that are builders, developers, investors, and some of them are worth 20, 30, 50 million. So I said to each and every one of them, can you give Massimo some guidance on what it takes to be successful? Yeah. And pretty much they all repeat the same thing.
Okay.
What do they say?
One of the top 3 responses, like first, second or third, hard work. So if you think it's anything but hard work, you're wrong. Passionate, love what you do. I had a new one though this time, because I've got a few that have done it with me before, and 2 people on this occasion said honesty. So that was new. I hadn't heard that one before, but
oh wow! Everyone's now being honest.
Yeah, so they've really got to be honest. So, but I think more be yourself. Like, love what you do, and they're all giving the same stuff: hard work, dedication, perseverance, persistence. Yeah, all the stuff required to make it. And it's good. It was even good for me to hear again, because you're hearing it again, and you're going, "Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing. Yes, I need to do more of that." Yeah, it's nice.
And any final words before we wrap this podcast session up?
Final words, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, no, thank you.
You guys are amazing. I've seen this work that you do before. And it looks incredible. It looks like it's $1 million outfit. I'm so impressed.
We are.
You are. You're a $10 million. You're a $100 million outfit.
Billion. No, thank you so much. Follow Alexi on Facebook.
Yeah, and soon to be Instagram.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
And if you need to sell a house, Alexi's your man. Have a chat to him. He can go global selling property, but he does specialise in Adelaide.
I do.
Yeah, South Australia.
Keep up the great work, girls. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
See you later.
Everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. We are getting awesome feedback from our viewers and listeners, and we want to hear from you. What was your key takeaway, your lessons learned, something you can relate to, or your aha moment, and share it on our Facebook and Instagram. You can also visit our sistersthatslay.com.au website to see what we've been up to. This podcast has been brought to you by Miriam's business, Fab Tax Accountants. We make your life easier, keep your books clean, and accounting and tax can even be fun so you can love your numbers.